Hello everyone and welcome. Today is a very special day. It's the day after Christmas for 2016 and we're going to be reviewing the brand new 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. This is Alfa's rear-wheel drive sports sedan. It's a competitor to the new BMW M3 and C63 AMG. It's a 2.9 liter V6 twin turbocharged engine. It's direct injection. It features some fancy lightweight bits throughout the body, including a carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber roof, and a carbon fiber drive shaft. Alfa uses their own variable locking limited slip differential, and I have to say, for a sedan, and I'm not a big sedan car type of guy, but all the Italian styling throughout the vehicle really has an awesome presence to it. And just looking at it, especially in person, aside from the photos that you see online, it really has a sense of presence and it has very sharp styling. This is like the type of car that I would expect the Transporter or some other Italian mob badass driving around when he's during a chase or having a getaway. Looking at the front fascia of the car, it's got very aggressive styling. The headlights are sharp angle cut. The big spacing and the meshing on the grille. It even has a carbon fiber front splitter, and this is an active aero piece that activates at highway speeds. The lip actually, I believe it extends out a little bit and opens up more to add front downforce to the car. Looking at the hood, there are two vents which are actually functional in efforts to reduce engine bay temperatures. Moving along to the wheels on the car, the spoke design on these is very reminiscent of Italian exotic styling. They are 19-inch in diameter. The fronts are 245 width, while the rears are 285 width, and they're Pirelli P0 Corsa tires. And this is actually quite a big stagger for a longer wheelbase sedan such as this. The front suspension layout is a double wishbone, while the rear is what Alfa calls their Alfa Link, which is just their take on a multi-link rear suspension layout. This car is outfitted with the standard steel brakes, while carbon ceramics are optional. Moving along to the rear of the car, there's a nice little carbon lip spoiler on the end of the boot lid, along with a very aggressive rear lower diffuser with quad exhaust tips. All right, here we go, launching this bad boy. Woo! Test out those brakes. Short road, I know, but I want to give you guys a little acceleration launch to show what it's like. I'm going to pull an illegal U-turn here. Alright, so here we are on the road out in the brand new Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio. First initial handling impressions, we're going to talk a little bit about the ride quality. I'm in the race mode at the moment, so damping is quite sharp. All the aids are off. The car is actually quite supple when you're cruising around in the normal driving modes. The adaptive damping is actually quite comfortable, especially for a sedan that's a little bit more sports tuned and has sharper reflexes. But once you put it into the race mode and everything firms and tightens up, you definitely get that more rigid sports car sharpness to it, and I think that's pretty neat. So here I am, I'm cruising along here at about 50 miles an hour on a back road here, and it's quite bumpy. But even in the race mode, it still kind of kind of takes the bumps pretty well. So we're gonna give her a little squeeze here. Gearbox is the 8-speed ZF transmission automatic. It's pretty responsive for an automatic tranny. Sharp shifts. It downshifts when I want it to. Car moves. Definitely have that 500 horsepower. It's a little bit scary to drive on a tighter back road like this. Brakes are good. Solid pedal feel, good feedback. Steering wheel's a little bit numb. It's an electronic rack. It doesn't provide the most feedback, but I don't think it's anything that's obtrusive. I just wouldn't rank it up there among the best of the groups, but not bad overall. Downshifts, I have to say, I'm not a big fan of paddle shift boxes, but this one, it actually really does respond when I press the lever, and I do appreciate that, especially not being a true double clutch. Man, it rockets. And having the tight ratio box, you really get pull through all the gears, and it makes use of the torque no matter where you are in the RPM range. The turbos have a little bit of a lag to them, and I think that's a good thing though, because a lot of modern turbocharged engines, the turbochargers that come with them are usually pretty small and they boost a lot, and this helps low end and it gives you that nice torque jump, but the motor's always under boost. This one, it seems like you can actually drive it with a little bit of lag if you wanted to, and that's a nice thing because now the engine's not under boost the whole time. You're not superheating the crap out of it either. So from an engine longevity standpoint, that might actually be the way to go. I'm not quite sure which way I want to go here. We're gonna go down this road. Is this a dead end? Oh, fuck, it is. As my cameraman just pointed out, I'm going down a dead end. You'll have to bear with me because I'm not familiar with these roads. Little wheel spin in second there, getting going. So even in the race mode, now this is a rather bumpy road and I'm doing well faster than I should be, according to Johnny Law. But it just takes those bumps pretty well, even in the race mode. And I have to say that's quite impressive, especially for a sports car. Oh, there's Johnny. There's Johnny Law right there. Hello, Mr. Officer. All right, so now I'm gonna turn the thing back into normal mode here. Actually, we'll just leave it in dynamic. So it's a combination of sportiness, but also suppleness for the road. And I think that's the adaptive dampening there for the shocks. So cruising along here, gearbox is in automatic. And it's quite comfortable. This car would make a wonderful grand touring car or a daily driver. Something that looks business, that you could take on a longer trip and just kind of tilt back and relax in. Seats are firm. The bolstering's quite aggressive on the side, but they're not back-breaking or uncomfortable. In the center back section, it's a little bit firm, but nothing that I would complain about for a longer trip. Definitely a great balance of holding ability and comfort. And the cabin in this car is quite a lovely place to be. I know there's been some gripes about interior material quality, but given its price point, I have to commend Alfa on the job that they did. Really making the best use of the materials given the price point. I really love the smooth leather and the contrasting stitching all over the place. There's great integration of carbon throughout the cabin. The steering wheel has a nice feel. The brim is on the, I would say it's in a medium diameter. It's not too chunky, but it's not too thin either. Fits the palms quite well. It's wrapped in Alcantara, Napa leather, and carbon accents. Nice smooth horn button pad with the Alfa logo. It's very Ferrari-esque in feel with the start-stop button right here on the steering wheel. And just the layout of all the buttons and the little accents, it's really got that Ferrari-esque feel to it, and they did a good job. Given the price point, I'd say this is quite a nice car. I prefer this over the competitive BMW M4. Mercedes probably got the upper hand with their C63 AMG in interior department, but this certainly isn't bad, and I would be splitting hairs saying I didn't like it. Traction control in dynamic mode kicks in quite a bit. Doesn't allow much slip on the car. I actually feel like this transmission shifts better when you're letting it shift when it wants to versus you pulling the paddles. But the nice thing about the car is it just gets up and goes. So for a car to like move around in traffic, there's no problem just giving a little gas to get up to speed or make a pass without a lot of downshifting or anything like that. Having the shorter gears, it really can make full advantage of the torque band and give you power really whenever you need it. That's a nice thing on a lot of modern transmission cars, is the fact that the ease of use and daily drivability and just getting up to speed in traffic. It is a shame the US market's not going to be receiving a manual transmission version of this car, because then I would say it really is a true M3 competitor. Me being the old fart that I'm turning into, I would always pick the manual transmission given the option, but the automatic ZF for a daily driver, I can't really find a fault in it. It's a pretty good dual purpose box, and it's very responsive. It's fast when you need it to be and comfortable when you just want to cruise around. I wasn't quite sure how to approach this new Alfa. To be quite honest, I don't particularly care for four-door sports sedans. I tend to be more attracted to two-seater sports cars instead. Even though my time with the car was quite limited and I wasn't familiar with the roads I was driving on, after I had some time to reflect upon what I had experienced, I realized the Giulia had left me with a memorable impression. Given the car's longer 111-inch wheelbase, it is quite athletic, and it doesn't feel clumsy or heavy, and this is what I think shines the most about the car compared to its rival M3 and AMGs. Combine that with an exotic Italian exterior and stylish interior, the overall result is a winner. I think it's absolutely fantastic to see Alfa back into the car game with its new rear-wheel drive offerings. So kudos to you, Alfa. Well done.
Today's
Today's review is made possible by Valenti Alfa in Hartford, Connecticut, so be sure to check them out, www.valentialfa.com.